Hey guys, Kay. So I just wanted to go live really fast and talk about something because I've talked to a few of you guys who've expressed some frustration about this last week or so. And like just since starting or maybe starting again as far as like your fitness, your nutrition goes. And I wanted to talk about something because this totally hit home for me today. And so I'm going to share it with you guys. I'm actually just going to read from the beginning of this. It's like a super short part of the chapter because there's some quotes in here that are super good. This is the book that I'm reading right now. It's called The Desire Map. And it is all about creating goals with your core desired feelings in mind. So instead of thinking, I want to lose weight because I want to fit into a pair of pants, or I just want to lose 20 pounds because then I'll like be worth something, or then I'll feel better or whatever, then I'll be confident. It's more, I want to feel this way, and so I'm going to do this. I want to feel energized, I want to feel fantastic, I want to feel crazy confident, and so therefore I'm going to show up and I'm going to do my workout, or I'm going to eat my portion containers or whatever. I'm going to put the work in now because I want to feel this way later. So this is the chapter called Resistance, and here is this chapter. I'm just going to read it to you guys. Okay, it says, your resistance is a sign that your system is reconfiguring itself towards success. So just let that sink in for a sec. So, do you ever wonder why you feel oh so good 2 days into a new workout regimen, and then you succumb to lethargy, low self-esteem, a bag full of maybe some Fritos or some Doritos 2 weeks later or 2 days later? Everything was going so well. You were in this to win it for real this time. So what's wrong with you? I have a friend, Todd Herman, who is a sports psychology coach. He's a top flight psych coach who helps people win Olympic medals, and he looks like an extra hot version of Dave Matthews. I digress. Todd has one of the most encouraging and illuminating theories that you could ever come across on resistance. And wouldn't you know it, it's backed by hard science. So, the biology of the game. As Todd described it to me, when you enact a significantly positive lifestyle change, like a new fitness practice, breaking off a toxic relationship, taking on a new job, or starting to eat differently, your brain temporarily floods your body with feel-good neurotransmitters, such as serotonin, dopamine. This is your brain's way of giving you a high five, okay? The happy drugs start to flow. They fuel your good intentions with seemingly boundless energy. Your commitments seem effortless. This is going to be easier than you thought. You've got this covered. Then, in a cruel but necessary act of nature, the party train grinds to a halt. Your neurotransmitters collapse their way back to normal, and to their normal output levels, and thank goodness, because otherwise you'd go crazy in a very literal clinical sense. And like a rushing river that dries up to a trickle, the rah-rah ferocity dissipates. You know the progression. It goes like this, Todd explains. Day one, you've got all this energy and the drive behind you and you're excited. You go to the gym, you work out, you feel great about it. Day two comes along, you've got the wheels of the train moving forward, you go again. Day three, a little bit of resistance. The tension starts to build up. You're not feeling as great about it. And you go, but you're not feeling as great about it. Day four, it's even harder. You don't go on day five, and then no more working out. That's why by the second week of January, the gyms are empty. At this point, your new healthy habits are asking your cells to literally alter their shape. And to you, this feels like a major drag in energy. But in actuality, your cells are loving this. They're vibrating, they're shifting, they're doing their form of yoga. They're transforming to accommodate your recalibrated levels of positive mood endorphins. They just need a little more time to reshape themselves. This is called resistance, and it's cause for celebration because it means that changes are happening. Your body is just going through a change. You're interpreting it as either positive or negative. Really, what you should do is get excited about it. The change needs to happen in order for the new habits to take form. The change that needs to happen in order for your new habits to take form is taking hold. It's taking hold inside your body, says Todd. The most difficult part of the journey is the first 16 days. And after that, it's a piece of cake. We don't need to think about it anymore. It goes from our conscious mind to our unconscious. It goes from our habit, from our conscious brain to our habit brain. And what this does is it creates a wave of positivity that starts flooding towards you, but most people don't see it right away. It happens later. So instead of shutting down these new habits when they start to feel uncomfortable or unpleasant, we need to shift our attitude toward loving that resistance when it arises. Because we can push through the awkward growth spurt, because if we can push through the awkward growth spurt, giving ourselves adequate time to catch on and catch up with our good intentions, then we gain prodigious momentum. Keep moving on. keep on keeping on. Todd Herman has 5 techniques for writing out this resistance that you encounter. And she, Danielle Leporte, who's the author of this book, she includes some like little notes on the random. But she says the first one, number 1, your tip for getting through this kind of resistance period. If you're feeling this resistance, you're feeling like you're sore muscles everywhere, you're feeling like it's really hard to eat healthy, whatever the resistance looks like for you. Number 1 tip, breathe. When you feel resistance building, stop and breathe through it. He says, I encourage my elite level football clients to take yoga classes for this very reason. Simple breathing techniques change your game in every area of your life. So if you really want to lessen the feelings of resistance, learn to sit with them. So sit with them in meditation, in yoga. You can just even do 5 minutes a day or 2 to 3 minutes of intentional breathing where you just listen to some quiet music or you just listen to your breath and just get comfortable breathing in this period of resistance. Number 2, grip your power thought. Why are you enacting this lifestyle change? What's the end goal? Come up with a power thought that fully encapsulates why you're doing what you're doing and hang on to it like it's a life raft. The note from Danielle says, your core desired feelings are your power thoughts. So why do you want to feel the way you want to feel? What's so important about that? If you want to feel energized every day, why is that so important? I want to feel energized because I want to have the energy to keep up with my kids for the rest of my life. Whatever, insert whatever your core desired feeling and purpose is. Number 3, remind yourself that you're changing. Okay, just say the words, I'm changing. And say those words out loud or inside, and it will anchor you into reality. It's a trigger. He says, I've got 13-year-olds that use this trigger. I've got 35-year-old defensemen in National Hockey Leagues using it too. It works. If you can remind your brain that you're in reality and that this is reality and it's okay, and you're not trying to jump forward and get out of reality, then you're going to feel a lot better. Because if you're fighting reality, then you feel worse. When you accept reality, it just is. That's all it is. So if you're feeling like resistant and stressed and you think, well, I shouldn't feel stressed, that I shouldn't feel stressed thought is what causes you the stress. If you just accept that simply what you are is you're changing, you're encountering resistance, and you just state it out loud, your brain can work with that and it can learn to accept it. And it can go to work on doing the things it needs to continue implementing the changes that you're forming. Number 4, rehearse your performance ahead of time. It's a powerful way of preparing your mind for what you want to happen. Don't script the outcome. So don't say, well, I'm scripting the I want to lose 10 pounds, or don't script the I want to do my workout perfectly and not have to drop my weights, or whatever your idea of perfect is. So don't script the outcome. It's too stressful. There's too many factors outside of your control, but script the process, script the performance, script how you're going to feel. Todd said, she just said, does that mean script the way you want to feel? Yes. So if you really want to feel empowered finishing out your workout, then go into your workout saying, I'm going to feel empowered by the end of this workout. Even if it's hard, even if it's difficult, even if it's uncomfortable, all of these different, resistance-based feelings, recognize that you get to rehearse how it goes ahead of time. And you get to rehearse basically how you respond. Okay, number 5, keep drafting. So your life is a text. If your life is a text or a book and you're the editor, you can make small corrections every single day. Editors don't berate themselves when they spot a typo. They don't rip up the entire manuscript and burn it. They just correct it. They move on. Next draft. Self-editing is empowering. Be fierce but flexible with your goals. So if your goal is to do your workout at 5 a.m. and some days you don't do it at 5, you do it at 6, or you do it at 10, or you do it at 4 in the afternoon, do not rip up your manuscript and say, I have to start over. Or if you get sick, it happens. Honestly, you guys, this is the kind of season that lots of people can get sick. If you get sick and you're out for a week or even a couple weeks, don't just sit there and say, well, I have to start from day 1. If you're 50 days into a workout plan like MM100 or 80-day obsession or whatever it is, or you're halfway through 21-day fix, don't just go back to the beginning because you think you have to rip it all up and start over. Trust your body. Trust your body and know that you can edit your life and you can edit what's happening and you can fit it to what's happening in real life, and recognize that there's little tweaks and little changes you can make to continue making forward progress, even if you feel like you've come to a grinding halt because you got sick or because, whatever happened, your kid got sick. All of those reasons that we have to maybe rip up the manuscript, kind of recognize them for what they are and then just say, okay, I can make a little edit today. So I just would challenge you guys to try and do that. Comment below if you guys have any questions about this. This is from the Desire Map, and I don't even feel like I need to say anything else. Like these 5 tips and those quotes, like it's just so important to recognize that the journey doesn't start when, the journey doesn't start at the end. Like you don't get to just feel great and say you start and you feel fabulous. It doesn't just stay that way, because resistance is a normal part of change. So I just hope that you can recognize and that you can see that if you are encountering resistance, because this is the period of time when that resistance will start to pop up, especially if you have not done anything for a few months or for a year or however long it's been for you. If you took a break over the holidays, this is when resistance starts. So if the resistance is cropping up and you're noticing it, then these 5 tips. If you go back and listen, these are the 5 tips that you can have to help you get through that resistance. Just recognize that change brings resistance. If it didn't, nobody would change. Like muscles don't just pop up overnight. They have to be challenged. They have to be sculpted. And that sculpting process can be difficult, unpleasant, uncomfortable, all of those different things. So just recognize if you're feeling uncomfortable, you're feeling like something is wrong because you're not feeling elated and super excited to work out anymore, it doesn't mean something's wrong with you. It just means you're normal. Okay, happy Friday. Hope this helps, and I will talk to you guys soon.